came to a word together, and she left me behind.
There's active shooter at Synergy. Yeah, that's Synergy confirming we do have a mail truck that's in custody.
Someone yell, active shooter, run.
Shooter is in a Toyota, headed westbound towards Odessa.
So not only do we have numerous scenes, over 15, but that's over miles in distance as well.
I'm tired of the dying for the people of the state of Texas.
A somber day today in the Permian Basin as law enforcement try to find any clues to why 7 people were killed. Good evening and thanks so much for choosing KLBK News. I'm Terry Furman. We continue our developing coverage of the tragedy in West Texas. Victims from the ages of 15 to 57 were shot along with more than 15 different crime scenes. But law enforcement says they still don't know why. Police have identified 36-year-old Seth Attor as the shooter. Law enforcement sources say this is a picture of him when he was arrested 18 years ago, but that his looks have changed. In 2001, he was booked for criminal trespass and evading arrest, which are both misdemeanors.
There are no definitive answers as to motive or reasons at this point.
Sources say the FBI searched a property in West Odessa today that is believed to be connected to the man. And aerial footage taken today shows just how much distance these crime scenes cover. A representative of the FBI indicating today that there are more than 15 separate crime scenes spanning multiple miles. Investigators say the man went on a shooting spree from Midland to Odessa on I-20. Guests of the Synergy movie theater are feeling pretty shaken up after being sent outside and witnessing the final moments of the suspect's life. A family at the movie theater was holding a birthday party when they were told to exit the theater. The Penpen family was celebrating the birthday of their 2 boys at the Synergy theater. They say they were with 4 other families and at least 15 kids were there celebrating the boys' birthday. But the family says the party didn't end the way they ever thought it would. KLBK's Alyssa Tejas caught up with them.
Leaving with a half-eaten birthday cake, party favors, and an encounter they will never forget.
Oh God, they're shooting right there.
Spending a Saturday afternoon celebrating their 2 sons' birthday at Synergy.
We were going to gather and just have pizza and cake with our friends and then go bowling.
Charlene Penpen says she saw people running outside.
Confused, I wasn't sure if it was something to do with the birthday party or maybe a fire drill or something.
The Penpen family says they were rushed outside fleeing to the back of the Synergy. Charlene saying she heard 2 words over and over again.
Someone yell, active shooter, run.
Once outside, Charlene saw chaos, watching the rest of the scene unravel before their eyes.
Saw a police cruiser come and strike it from the side. I saw the rear end of this mail van kind of pop up, glass shattered, and then it ended up on its side, kind of blocking the street. I saw a police cruiser bounce across the border, and then I started hearing shots fired.
The family says they didn't know where the shots were coming from.
Praying hard for God's protection over everyone, that no one would be hurt or killed.
The family making it home safely, but reeling for the rest of the night.
I just got on top of my youngest son and prayed out loud, and I don't think I've ever prayed so hard before in my life.
Thinking about it happening in their own hometown.
My youngest son was still very shaken up, and it took me having to rock him to sleep for him to be able to settle down and fall asleep.
Still grateful they made it home, along with friends and family, while also keeping their faith.
What we have seen here in West Texas is that people do look out for each other and do help each other.
Of course, community members there in Odessa are mourning tonight as more than 20 people recover in local hospitals there. KLBK's Wes Rappaport has details from Odessa.
As the community here in Odessa tries to find some way to heal amid all of their grief, we spoke to some young men who say that they are worried to go outside, they fear for their safety, and they're terrified. That's something they never thought they'd say.
Some call it hope.
There's really nothing that sums up what's directly going through everyone's mind right now.
As the Permian Basin grieves,
it's our community. we got hard times like this, and we knew some of the people in the accident.
The investigation continues into the night. Local, state, and federal authorities comb through evidence, including this mail truck, which the gunman stole during the pursuit.
I'm assuming that the mail carrier was near the postal vehicle at the time, because apparently he ditched his car there and then took the postal vehicle and did shoot the individual driving it.
The FBI says some of the same team members who were involved in the aftermath of the church shooting in Sutherland Springs almost 2 years ago are here in Odessa.
The connection between the FBI, the DPS, Odessa police is built on unfortunate experience of working together.
Ector County Sheriff Mike Griffiths says state leaders need to do more to deter people from committing crimes.
Somebody's got to be in fear of the consequences if they commit a crime, and that's a fact. And I hope Austin calls me, because they'll darn sure get my opinion on it.
We have a sense of urgency to arrive at solutions.
As this community continues to mourn here in the Permian Basin, we expect an update from law enforcement on the investigation sometime Monday morning. We will, of course, bring you the latest information as we learn it. Reporting in Odessa, I'm Wes Rappaport. Back to you.
Thank you, Wes. The twin sister of that postal worker killed by the suspect in yesterday's shooting is opening about the heartbreaking details of her sister's death. 29-year-old Mary Gonzalez was killed while wrapping up her shift with the Postal Service for the day. She was on the phone with her sister and heard Mary screaming before eventually losing the connection. She said she initially thought her sister was being attacked by a dog and got into her car and drove toward her sister.
Desperate to go where she was at, go help her, you know. I was trying to call her name, but she wouldn't answer. So I don't know if she was okay.
A GoFundMe has been started to help the family fund the funeral expenses for Mary. You can find it by visiting the GoFundMe website and searching Mary Granados. Her sister and a family friend are organizing the fundraiser. An update on the 17-month-old little girl who was shot in the face during the Odessa shooting. She has now been discharged from University Medical Center after undergoing surgery early this morning. Our Emily Harrison caught up with hospital staff who expect her to make a full recovery.
But last time I saw her, she was in great spirits, and the family was very happy, and they were looking forward to getting home.
Shrapnel in her chest, in a bullet hole in her bottom lip. Anderson Davis, the youngest victim of the Odessa shooting, is going home after a successful surgery at UMC.
She's 17 months old, so she's just a young child, so I'm sure she didn't know exactly what was happening. Her parents, though, were very strong, handled everything very well. Obviously, everything went very well because she was able to go home less than 24 hours after first getting here. So no major complications, everything went pretty smoothly.
Her parents stayed right by her side during the entire ordeal in the Ronald McDonald Family Room at UMC.
We are here in the storm. A lot of times crisis happens and families don't know what they're going to do, where they're going to stay.
Dina Jeffries, president of Ronald McDonald House, says helping the Davis family is just the beginning as they're putting together a team to go to Midland and help more victims.
We have Jax, our chief cheer officer of Ronald McDonald House, and we will be traveling to the Permian Basin area next week to deliver emotional support in any way, shape, or form that we can.
Finley says the worst is likely behind them now, but they're ready in case any more patients need to come.
We were happy to help last night, and we'll continue to do so whenever we needed.
Emily Harrison, KLBK News.
All right, thanks, Emily. And Vitalant here in town is urging people to step up and donate blood to help victims of this shooting. They're open tomorrow on Labor Day from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., then Tuesday and Thursday from noon to 6 p.m., and then Wednesday and Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can make an appointment by visiting the website right there on your screen. Now we're getting some developing news tonight. Lubbock police were called to the area near Zenith and East 10th tonight for shots fired. We're told that a juvenile was seriously injured with a gunshot wound to the face. They were taken to the hospital. Of course, this is still an active investigation, so keep following KLBK here on air and online at everythinglubbock.com for updates as we receive them. One person is dead and another charged with capital murder and evading arrest after a homicide in Levelland. According to the Levelland and Hockley County News Press, Jeremy Atchison has been arrested in connection to this case. Levelland police were called out to the 400 block of East Jackson Street around 10:30 on Saturday evening. Of course, this is also a developing story, and we will be updating this as we continue to learn more. And a Lubbock woman was injured early Sunday morning in northeast Lubbock. Lubbock police are investigating a shooting that occurred about 3 a.m. Sunday morning in the 2800 block of Parkway Drive at Club Truth. Now, according to the police report, several shots were fired, and one of those shots hit a woman on top of the head. She does have non-life-threatening injuries, and she was transported by ambulance to UMC. Now, the police report also said the suspect is unknown. So if you have any information on this case, please call the crime line. That number, 741-1000. More news still headed your way here on KLBK.